In the summer of 1997, the deep ocean screamed. Sensors across the Pacific detected a sound louder than any known animal. A blue whale calls at 188 decibels. This sound was far more powerful.
To create a noise this loud, a creature would need to defy biology.
Could the Megalodon be hiding in the dark? Or is it something worse?
We are at the NOAA listening stations, thousands of miles apart.
The spectrogram showed a low-frequency signature, unlike a bomb or submarine.
For days, the ocean surface remained calm, hiding the energy below.
Deep underwater, sound waves travel for thousands of kilometers without fading. Scientists were baffled. The frequency matched a living voice, not a machine.
The sound originated here, near 50 degrees south, 100 degrees west.
Naturally, biologists looked at the blue whale, the largest animal in history.
But a blue whale's call is a series of pulses, lasting only 10 to 30 seconds.
The bloop lasted for over 1 minute and rose in frequency, unlike any whale song. Could it be a giant cephalopod hiding in the crushing darkness?
Physics says no. Squids have no air-filled sacs to resonate sound at that volume. Sperm whales are the loudest living animals, clicking at 230 decibels.
But their sound is a short, sharp click, not the long, groaning roar of the bloop.
If modern animals are too small, we must look to the past.
Enter the Otodus Megalodon, the largest shark to ever live. Megalodon ruled the oceans for 20 million years, but it had a biological limit.
Sharks do not have vocal cords or air-filled swim bladders to resonate sound.
They are silent hunters. The only sound they make is the crunch of bone. To generate the bloop biologically, an animal would need a resonant chamber 30 meters wide. This brings us to a terrifying hypothesis: the Titan.
It would dwarf the Megalodon, turning the apex predator into prey. The energy required to project this sound across the Pacific is equivalent to a small explosion. While terrifying to imagine, biology makes this monster unlikely. The calorie cost would be impossible.
So if it wasn't a monster, what was it? The answer lies in the ice. In 2005, NOAA deployed hydrophones closer to Antarctica and found the culprit. It wasn't a biological voice. It was the sound of a continent breaking apart. This phenomenon is called an icequake, or glacial calving. When scientists sped up the recording of the ice cracking, it matched the bloop perfectly.
The stick-slip movement of millions of tons of ice creates a massive acoustic release.
Because the sound channel in the deep ocean is so efficient, this noise traveled 3,000 miles.
Nature's geology is capable of violence far exceeding any predator. The mystery was solved. The bloop was not a monster waking up.
It was the sound of our planet changing, shifting, and breaking. But just because the bloop wasn't a monster doesn't mean the ocean is empty.
The energy released by this icequake was equivalent to an underwater earthquake. It sent a low-frequency shockwave tearing through the Pacific at 1,500 meters per second.
Even the Megalodon, the ultimate biological weapon, is nothing compared to the planet's geology. The bloop wasn't alone. Sounds named Julia and Slowdown were also captured. Each of these was identified as ice rubbing against the seabed or breaking apart.
We wanted it to be a monster. We wanted a leviathan.
But the truth is more humbling. The loudest voice on Earth belongs to the Earth itself.
However, this doesn't mean the deep ocean is safe. We have explored less than 5% of our oceans.
And while the bloop was ice, there are other sounds we still cannot explain.
The bloop was a geological warning, a reminder of our planet's immense power.
The Megalodon didn't need to scream to be the king. Its silence was its weapon. We used to think the coelacanth was extinct for 66 million years, until we found it alive. The ocean is still hiding secrets. Just because the bloop wasn't a monster doesn't mean there aren't monsters left to find. Nature's reality is often stranger and louder than any fiction. From the deepest trenches to the highest peaks, we explore it all. Subscribe to Prehistoric Planet 3D and join the expedition into deep time. Click that button or become a fossil. See you in the next era.